This is my 1992 Chevrolet Lumina APV. It's got a throttle body injected 3.1 liter V6. Made it to a 3-speed automatic with no overdrive. 3T40 trans or TH125C. Either or designation, I suppose. Purchased it last November with 141,000 miles on it. I'm now at 186,000. It's been really good to me. Paid a little over 500 for it. The plan was to pay like 1,000, but during the test drive, one of the spark plugs shot out of the cylinder head during the test drive. The front bank of them were kind of rusted in. I had to do a little bit of work to get them out. So I did the spark plugs, wires, cap and rotor, ignition control module under the cap, and it's been great ever since. But that little mishap during the test drive kind of blessed me with the ability to pay half of what I was, a little less than half of what I was gonna originally pay for it. I got it on the road in January. I've just been driving it ever since. Give you a little tour. Cool van. Dome light doesn't work. I'm trying to figure that out. It kind of goes in and out intermittently. I think the switch might need to be replaced. Obviously there's no bulb in there because don't want to drain the battery or anything. Hood release. That broke on me recently, so I gotta go under and got a zip tie connected to the latch cable. So give me a second here. Alright. Here's that 3.1, all in its high mileage, all iron glory. These made like 120 horsepower brand new. And made 175 foot-pounds of torque. What it makes now, I'm not really sure, but yeah, it still goes down the road pretty well. I can't complain. Everyone's like, oh, you should 3800 swap it, blah blah blah, and I'm like, if I wanted to go through all that, I could just buy one with 3800. That became an option in 1992 with these. From what I'm gathering, this is like a pretty well optioned base model. As you can see, it doesn't have the 3800. Doesn't have the alloy wheels, which I do plan on getting eventually, hopefully next year. And it doesn't have a sunroof. It doesn't have. Don't think it has rear AC. It's got the rear air, but not AC. I think it just has a single zone. What else? I'm missing something else. Doesn't have the air ride in the rear, load leveling, whatever you want to call it. But other than that, it's got cruise control. It's got the tinted rear windows. It's got the full, well, I took the 2 rear seats out, but it does have the full 7-seat configuration. A couple other little odds and ends here, but it otherwise is pretty well optioned for what it is, honestly. Go start it up shortly. Give me a second. I'm doing this with one hand and all that. 145. No, it's not cammed. It does that from time to time. I'm trying to figure out why. Fuel pump may need to be replaced soon. Me being low in gas probably doesn't help either, but I'm about to go fill up in a little while. But yeah, as you can see, 186,000 miles. She's been a trooper, man. Like I've put some miles on this thing since I got her back on the road. Got plans for it. I'm probably gonna buy a second motor and second motor and trans just in case. Might as well buy a new subframe. It's not terribly rusty, but it's got a couple spots that could use some attention. Notorious spot for these to rust at is right here, jack points. Well, you can use that in part of the unibody. I do have an oil leak. That's in the distributor O-ring, but other than that, you know, that and a couple other spots, it's pretty clean for what it is. You know, I can't complain. I'm running and driving car for less than $1,000. What are you gonna do, you know? I did do a little exhaust work. Got a thrush glass pack on it right now. I had a little side dump. No, it's not welded together, but it's just in case I want to change things up. I need to replace the cat. I don't think it's completely clogged, but it might be getting there. I think it's original, so that might free up a little power. I'm not gonna just straight pipe it. I'll probably put a high flow on or a magna flow. You know, I don't want to be that guy, you know, at the red lights and all that. Trying to, you know, not be a complete, you know, ass about it, I guess. Sounds good. Doesn't sound bad at all. You know, it's got a nice little rumble to it. You know, let's lay this down. You know, like I said, she runs good, runs pretty well. Again, I can't complain. I really can't complain at all. This is my first video I've made in like years, so if I sound a little nervous behind the camera, that's probably why. You know, these are the 3 rear seats for the middle row. You know, it's not bad. But yeah, this is what we got going on now. This is my new, I guess, daily / project. A little while ago I had an issue with one of the brake calipers locking up on me. Happened twice. I replaced pads and rotors twice, and then I was like, alright, I probably have a caliper that needs to be replaced. So I replaced the pads, rotors, front calipers. Front calipers are rebuilt centric units. Pads are like some Fleet heavy duty pads from Quality Built. Got this all off of Rock Auto. And the rotors are OEM AC Delco. I got a high flow, quote unquote, green air filter. Show you a little sticker. They make good products. It's a good alternative to K&N, you know. Wanted something different. I got a high flow filter. Then I bypassed the air intake resonator. It's still kind of plumbed up, but it's just blocked off right here. So makes it a little bit noisier, you know. I think it helps with throttle response too a little bit, but I think the miles to the gallon kind of suffered a bit. So I got that going on, the glass pack. I also adjusted the TV cable for the transmission. That way it would shift a little bit later, and a little bit harsher. Not harsher, but just give it a little bit more kick. Apparently that's actually good for the transmission instead of trying to make it shift early and smoother, so to speak. If it shifts too early and everything, I think you run into the risk of stacking your shifts together and stuff, and it's never good. So apparently, from what I've read up, it's good to actually have the transmission shift a little bit later slightly harsher. Just give it a little more oomph and all that. Again, I'm working with 100, well, probably not even that now after all the miles, but I'm working with probably 90 horsepower to the wheels and maybe 150, 45 foot-pounds of torque. This is an iron head 3.1 liter V6. These came with this motor, the 3.8, and then in 96, the 3400 replaced both options, and that was the standard motor before the first generation ended production. These were in production from 1990 to 1996. I think they began building them in late 89, but mine's is in 92, produced in April of 1992. I'm very satisfied with the purchase. I never thought I'd ever have a minivan this early in my life. I'm 29, but I mean, I guess that's not early, but for my first minivan, it's a cool purchase. It's something cool. I've always been in the GM products, and I love my Toyotas too. When it comes to American-made vehicles, I'm usually kind of a GM guy. Japanese, I go for the Toyotas. I had a Hyundai Accent. I'll make another video about that. It was a 2017 Hyundai Accent 6-speed. I had a couple cars before, well, a car before this, but yeah, it's a good car. It's really good. It gets me from where I need to go reliably. I can't complain. Oh yeah, it's got ABS. That was a big flex back in the day. But yeah, this is pretty much all I need to really say about it. Typical GM fashion, the dash is curling up, or has been curling up for some time now. Only one speaker works, but I plan on replacing all four of them. This one right here has really been putting in a lot of work. It just sounds like I have a really good Bluetooth speaker in here, honestly. Headliner is sagging, tiny bit of rust here and there, but I tried to undercoat it as best as I could when I had the chance to. It's not terrible under here, but there's another spot in this corner over here. I can't really see it, but for how old it is, I can't really complain. I just can't complain. Yeah, suspension needs to be redone. It's pretty bouncy. Can't really see the, kind of hard to demonstrate, but the front struts are kind of blown out. The only thing keeping it off the ground is probably the springs, and yeah, I need to go ahead and replace that soon. It still takes corners pretty well. A little back road action here and there, but it just does the job. It starts up, it starts up and goes and stops and steers. I can't complain. I really can't. I'm very satisfied with the purchase. I don't think I could have bought I don't want to say better example, but I don't think I could have bought a more decent example given where I live in Maryland. I think this was a Virginia car at one point. It's been through a few owners, but one guy had it for 20 plus years, and I think that was the owner that recently passed before I ended up with it. My buddy's father bought it at an estate sale. Rest in peace to the previous owner. He had a 96 300ZX 5-speed, non-turbo, but it was low miles. It had like 32,000 miles on it. It was clean. It was stupid clean. Had this and the 300ZX. My buddy's father bought both of them. I needed a car at the time that was paid off. Long story. I'll get into that later. I just needed something that I could get on the road real quick, relatively quick, and just going about my business with. I've been working on it ever since, here and there, little details, and yeah, But yeah, the guy, the last owner, he was pretty good about maintaining his cars, thank God. But I guess they suffer from health issues and such, and passed away. It ended up sitting under an oak tree in the driveway for about 2-3 years or whatever. My buddy hit me up and was like, yeah, you know, my dad's got this Lumina van, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm thinking to myself, like, Dustbuster van, like one of those, and sure enough, I pull up to the house and this beauty's sitting there, and you know, I've just been ripping it ever since. I plan to replace the Steelies with the post facelift aluminum Beretta style wheels. I'm gonna try and piece together a set of those. I already got one. I should have just scoured eBay a little bit more, but you know how that goes sometimes. But yeah, it's not a bad car. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. These are starting to become kind of cool again, so to speak. And you know, I just happen to be one guy that owns one of them. One of the many people, not many, but there's a nice little group of us that have these. And I'm dedicated to keeping this on the road as long as I can. It made it this long. It made it through Cash for Clunkers. Screw Clash for Clunkers. That was a terrible program, you know. It was horrible. It was stupid, let's be real. It took a lot of good cars off the road for what, you know. This thing doesn't get great gas mileage, and that's probably why so many of them ended up in the program to begin with. But it's okay, especially if you keep your foot out of it, keep it below 70, or you know, 70 or below, I should say. Remember, it's a 3-speed, so I only got 3 gears, and then after that, it's starting to sing a little bit. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. All right, I'm starting to rant a little bit. I'm gonna go cut this video. It's been almost 20 minutes. That was quick, but yeah. Again, this is my 1992 Chevrolet Lumina APV. You're gonna see more videos of this in the coming times. This is my first video in God knows how long, so just bear with me. Yeah, happy holidays. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. Those who celebrate, and Happy New Year's. Have a good day.